Today on the table, I've brought you the Mossberg 930 Home Security. Now, Mossberg offers several different semi-automatic variants. Some will come with ghost ring sights, some with a longer barrel, different stock configurations, and different coloration. Out of all their different 930 options, this is without a doubt my favorite, for a couple of different reasons. One, it's nice and short. You get your 18.5-inch barrel. You got a bead sight. The stock is your standard stock with Mossbergs, unless you're running like a Maverick 88. It's very important you go with a standard style stock because of where the safety is located. If you were to run a pistol grip stock on a Mossberg, your hand's down here. So if you want to actuate the safety, you have to break your hand off the grip, work the safety, then come back down on the grip. For your standard stock, this is the absolute perfect position for a safety. Your thumb is always right there. Never have to break your hand position, you're good to go. Now, as far as the bead sight, I want a bead sight on a semi-automatic shotgun. Maybe on a pump action, I would give an exception and see some sort of case to be made there. But for a semi-auto, where the whole point of going with a semi-auto is to be faster, a bead sight is the way to go. When it comes to shooting fast, it happens in this order. The fastest, without a doubt, is a bead sight. Second would be a low-mounted red dot. After that would come open sights. And then after that would come some sort of magnified option. Like, for example, you'll always hear Nothing Fancy on his videos talk about his Winchester 1300, I believe it is, Defender, being his fastest shotgun.
I'm showing you this to kind of reinforce the point I'm making. I mean, this for my own family, this is kind of the go-to close range option. By the way, damn, it's fast. The Winchester 1300 is fast as some semi-autos.
I'm really surprised he never made the connection of why it's the fastest shotgun. It's because he just has a bead sight on it. All the rest of his shotguns have like open sights, or they'll run some sort of red dot, and all that stuff slows you down. A bead sight is without a doubt the fastest, and that's the whole point of a shotgun, is to shoot quickly, like clay pigeons, or hit targets quickly. You get a little bit of extra leeway from buckshot, and just pull up and you shoot. No alignment really necessary. And I found that when you hold your shotgun so you can always keep your bead sight in your peripheral vision, you're even faster yet. And that's why I would go with a bead sight on this particular 930 setup, because I'm looking for maximum speed. If I'm looking for maximum speed, why would I slow myself down with a red dot or ghost rings? You just run an open bead. Now, I would change some things about this configuration. One, there's no front sling swivel mount, so obviously you'd have to put one of those on and then put on a sling. The second thing is this charging handle's too small and it's hard to grip. So I would most definitely put some sort of extended charging handle on it. Which kind of sucks because I like to keep my shotguns streamlined, which is another reason why I don't like ghost ring sights and that, because they get hung up on everything. Going into a gun case, they're getting stuck. Coming out of your vehicle when you're hunting, they're getting stuck on stuff. Going into the gun cabinet, they're getting stuck on stuff. Constantly getting hung up. Now, unfortunately, Mossberg, I call this the suicide button, has a problem that needs to be fixed. Unfortunately, I don't have a manufacturing area to be able to fix this myself, but basically, so you got this button right here on the side. Your shotgun's fully loaded. For whatever reason, you accidentally hit this button. Let's say, going in the car, or you bump up against a tree, or hit the corner of your door jamb clearing out your house. It's just caused a double feed. So you would have been able to fire the one in the tube, and then the bolt would have came back and locked open, because there's two shells in there. I found the easiest way to take care of this is go with your thumb, push the other one in the tube, and then rapidly remove your thumb so it doesn't get caught by the bolt. Like I said, this charging handle's too small. It needs to be bigger so I can get shells in and out. But anyway, so when you push this button, the first thing it does is releases a shell, because when the bolt drops, there's a little switch right there, so your shell would come back, hit that, and then let it forward. The second function it does is drop the bolt if you don't have a shell in there. This needs to be taken care of so it doesn't instantly drop a shell first. I don't know exactly how they would do it, but they need to make it so this button does not drop 2 shells with the bolt closed if somehow it gets pressed. Now the overall construction of this firearm is pretty good. You get a thicker wall barrel like on your 590s instead of like your 500, which runs a thinner wall barrel. You also get a metal trigger guard like on your 590 A1s and 590s. Unfortunately, Mossberg doesn't do chrome lining, so this barrel is not chrome lined, and neither is the chamber. And I'd really like to see chrome lining on a semi-auto shotgun, because all those parts have to move free. If this were to get rusty at all, this shotgun's going to fail, and especially if you decide to put it in a home defense role where it can just be sitting in the corner or underneath your bed for a long period of time, rust is very possible. Now, you do get a park finish, and the receiver is aluminum, which will help prevent rust and corrosion, but it still is possible. And inside your chamber, that's actually part of the barrel. So this is all steel. This is very liable to rust. Now, if you wanted to go with something with chrome lining, you're looking at double the cost. So it's starting to make this look more appealing. I mean, yes, I don't get the chrome lining, but it's half the cost as if I wanted to go like a Benelli, FN, Beretta, something like that. And all those options, is, unless they've come up with something I don't know yet, they all have some sort of sighting option, like ghost ring, or open sights, or just a big nasty rail on it, so they're going to be slower. This will shoot faster than all of them. That's why you never see Jerry Mitchell running ghost ring sights or something like that, and when he does, he's usually talking crap about them.
And the other thing I don't like, when you hang a bunch of furniture on it like this, you have to pick your head up to see the sight. So I had to pick my head up, and that kind of caused it to go a little bit to the right. Other than that...
Because they suck. They really do. And I'm not just saying that out of opinion. When the whole ghost ring bandwagon came along, man, I hopped on that thing with both feet. I was sold. I thought it was going to be the best thing ever. I went to the range maybe twice, and I'm like, these things are terrible. I'm ridiculously slower using ghost rings. So that is something you're going to want to be aware of. Now this shotgun, when it's ready to fire, this little knob right here is out. I don't know if that's a really big deal to you. Like, see, now that it's been fired, the little knob's in. So that's kind of cool. Something that really sucks with the Mossberg 930s is there's just not a lot of stock options. Now you can run the Mossberg one, but again, they have a pistol grip version where I'm like, why? Because that doesn't work at all with tang safeties. But like Magpul, none of that makes a stock for this because there's a recoil spring that goes through the stock. So you're really limited on options, which really sucks because this has an overall length of pull of 14 1/4. My favorite length of pull is 12 1/4. I'm 5'6". I'm assuming that's about average American height because I usually don't see a whole bunch of people taller than me and a whole bunch of people shorter than me. So for most of you, this isn't going to fit you. Now you could like remove the pad and take some of the meat out of this or something like that, but it's not going to look the best. But it is an option. I really wish they had aftermarket options for this. The Magpul stock is my favorite one for Mossberg shotguns, and I can't get it for this. Now you do have a cylinder bore. This does take 3-inch shells, and it's got an 8-shot capacity, 7 in the tube, 1 in the pipe. Very acceptable. Would I purchase this shotgun? And you know what? We'll compare it against the whole shotgun world. Yes, I'm really let down this doesn't have a chrome line chamber and bore. Unfortunately, the options that are out there do. They cost twice as much, and they don't have a bead sight on them. So I probably will eventually actually get this shotgun just to test it out to see if that non-chrome line bore and barrel is really going to hinder me that much. If it doesn't, this is a pretty cool configuration. Now there is the Jerry Mitchell version. Again, it's lacking the chrome line barrel and bore, but it's got a longer barrel also, and it's got that ribbing on there. And I've just never liked the way ribbing looks. If you do like the ribbing, the way the ribbing looks, that's an excellent one. And obviously, since he designed the gun, it doesn't have ghost ring sights or anything. It's just got bead sights. But yeah, so if you're considering purchasing this, I would totally pull the trigger on it. That's my opinion, though. I mean, you have to decide for yourself. If you'd like to check out any of my other videos, especially the one where I explain more in depth why I don't like ghost ring sights, click on this one right here. or you can click on this one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.